every tour. And that was about, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. Haven't seen a mangrove crab since. And this was on or about the time where Adelaide had, like, I think we had 12 days in a row over 40 degrees, and the river got like uncomfortably hot. So it could have been a one-off event like that, that the river just got too hot and it killed all the crabs. And these crabs that couldn't move, they live in the same spot, so they couldn't kind of just go off somewhere else, which is really sad. Also, the blue swimmers, we don't see as many blue swimmers in these creeks anymore. We do see them, but not as often. So yeah, we're just keeping an eye out for them, hoping that there would be a few, or the eggs of some that survived the event. It could have also been, you know, a pollution event that went through the river. I'm not aware of anything. Like 10, 15 years ago, I used to have to cancel tours because of algal blooms in the river. The river was horribly polluted. Garden Island was the landfill site for Adelaide before Winkfield. And I think Mike's shown you that photo, but there was a hell of a lot of fairly toxic stuff leaching into the river. We used to come back with the kayaks covered with litter. And yeah, some of the creeks, there's this stuff called sea lettuce. And it used to be like a ½ metre thick.
It was actually a lettuce.
Yeah, it looks like lettuce.
Yeah, no, this one was a lettuce. It was an
iceberg. Yeah, no, it wasn't that thing.
Vulva, right?
Yeah, vulva. So that used to smother the
vulva
and was causing dieback in the
How that got its name?
And that was caused by runoff water being highly nutrified with nitrates and phosphates from detergents and fertilisers and things that were getting into our creeks. And then someone smart decided to put all the urban waterways back the way they used to be, with artificial wetlands, but just copying Mother Nature with ponds and lakes full of reeds and trees and trash racks. Took out, and the dump was closed, partly for environmental reasons. And it took about 8 years, but the water started to go clear about 6 years ago. In the past, you couldn't see the bottom in most places of the river. It was quite clear. And about 6 years ago, the whole river where I go just went clear, and it stayed clear. Obviously the water quality is improving. The trees are now expanding back again. They're not having dieback. And just an amazing thing to be part of, and just very lucky that I decided to move out of teaching, go into kayaking at the same time as this environment started to just clean up. And we look after the environment, the species come back if they don't get knocked out like the little crabs. But yeah, fishing industry originally. So these roots coming out of the soil here are called the pneumatophores, or air roots. And you may have got a whiff of mangrove gas on the way in, and looked at the person next to you and go, "Look at you." Hydrogen sulfide. Ex-science teacher, sorry, but yeah, the bacteria living in this really heavy soil that forms the mangrove environment. Down about 1 metre, the soil is really black, and if you dig it up, really smelly. The bacteria living in that soil, because there's no oxygen in the soil, it's just too heavy. They don't live like us, breathing air, carbon dioxide and oxygen. They live like the animals in deep vents on the ocean, taking in sulfur, which science students here, but sulfur and oxygen are in the same chemical group, very similar chemical properties, but the byproducts of sulfurous respiration is rotten egg gas, basically. Hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide. So very, very smelly stuff. But if you don't believe me, where you get to and you can see black or grey soils on the sides, just dig it with your paddle, have a whiff. When they used to run the St Kilda mangrove trail, they'd have a shovel and they'd dig it up just to prove to everybody that it smelt. And they'd make you lick the mangrove leaves to see how they get rid of the salt.
We did that.
I won't do that either. Probably not a good idea to take in any of the water here from the plants or anything else in your body. But mangroves dominate this area because they have these amazing ways of dealing with this very, very salty water. The water here is much saltier than the ocean. So the first defence mechanism, and they're terrestrial plants. Yeah, they're not seaweeds. About 95% of the salt is left behind. They have special cells in their roots called lenticels that remove salt, basically. Really good. You know, we got our desalination plant down there. These trees are much better at handling salt water than our desalination plant down there at Port Standac. And then the little bit of salt that does get up into the tree, if you look, you'll see yellow leaves on the trees, which are sacrificial leaves, and the tree will divert the salt into those leaves, which die, and then the leaves fall off the tree, taking the salt with them. So just like any other terrestrial plant, it needs fresh water, but these clever plants have evolved to make fresh water out of salt water, and hence dominate the intertidal zone. Yeah.
The leaves of the mangrove wouldn't have a lot of tannin in them, or do they? Because it doesn't get represented in the water column.
No, I don't have any advice on that one, but I think your observation's accurate, that there's not a lot of tannin in these plants at all.
Unlike eucalyptus.
No,
that have a
yeah,
lot
the
of
eucalyptus.
tannin and stay in the water.
Yeah, so we don't have that very tea-coloured water down here. We could have some morning tea here, but it's not the right time of the year. The seeds of the mangroves are edible. High in, they're a sprout actually. They're high in vitamins and minerals. Don't taste very nice, but quite edible. And there are other edible species in the area. The early Europeans that discovered the Port River had stories of hundreds of Aboriginal campfires on the rivers, and it would have been a paradise for the Ghana people. Lots and lots of things to eat, birds' eggs, the seeds of the mangroves, quite nice cooked but not raw. Other edible plants in the area along with fish, and it was really a paradise-like existence for the Ghana people before we mucked the river up. But luckily we're bringing it back again. Hope you got a chance to see. I've seen absolutely thousands of little tiny fish in and amongst the mangrove roots, which are all good. This season's stock. So a dolphin will eat about 10 kilos of fish a day, an adult dolphin. So with over 40 dolphins now kind of in and around the Port River, we need lots and lots of fish to support that population, but also fish that leave the river and go out and become the commercial catch. So we can see that the river is still nice and healthy by these little fish all around us. You got anything more you want to add, Mike? Because once we kind of leave the creek, we'll probably head on back with not too much more commentary. Or any other comment you want?
Yeah, I don't think so, thanks Phil. I don't know if anybody's got any questions or anybody else wants to make any comments, because we've got lots of expertise in the group as well.
Please correct me if I'm wrong with anything I say. It's all just learnt from Mike or reading or other people that I've been corrected by in the past.
Nobody else?
Was there an oyster that lived through this area,
Now,
Mike?
that's
or
an
Phil?
excellent question. Mike, have you seen the strange looking oysters on the roots? So the original oysters were kind of fairly regular shaped shells, and since we've had that virus come through the river or whatever it was, and they've taken out all of those oysters, there's another, it must be a different species because the shell is really different. I've only seen a couple on the way into this creek, but if, yeah, I'm